Mic check, mic check, mic check.
We're looking out for you. I'm trying to get you.
So the big question is, how was there used to be?
It's a total allocated,
I see the question.
real quick, Brian, what was the total that's allocated?
95,000, and then we've already spent 4,500. So we're at 9,500.
Here's my question, did 4,500 what?
Boat parade.
Yes.
That's it? No,
It was a $3,000 credit.
so in theory, it was 7,500.
Yes.
And the voting rate is in the packet?
I didn't tell him. I said, hey, if you don't.
I'm sorry, I'm writing on the notepad, if anybody wants to see it. I want them to do see it, so. Yeah. I'm subtracting, I'm writing down. Okay? Technically, we're on the hook for 15 for book ready, is that right?
Shades.
We can't buy one.
Okay. We're waiting for Darren.
Oh, okay.
We need a Darren.
Right, is that right?
Okay.
That was all right, but it's.
4,500.
Well, how much we've allocated.
Oh, he
say
can't
we're
work remotely
paying
from
for
outside.
15. I said, you know, 7,500 times two, you have.
I thought we need specifically a Darren.
From our
It's only 7,500 one time.
total.
7,500 for the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ah,
Squiggles.
Okay. I know we haven't started yet, can you guys see this? No. Doesn't
except Lee is blinded right
matter.
now.
Well, I'll put it over here.
Well, slow me down.
If only Rashard could adjust
Slow
it.
me down a minute.
What is he at? He's
Sure.
literally just here.
Isn't that is that the switches over there? the way?
Yeah, but it's a key to it. That only Rashard, and only Rashard has
Yeah,
this.
but something about
Hey, you
it
said
floats
it'll go off
or
there.
something.
You're right, man.
This might be better anyway. Yeah.
She'll be here.
Yeah.
There he is. Hey, friend, we need your help. You know them blinds?
We just said boomer.
Can you lower the
Mackenzie
blinds?
said, you use boomer.
Is your
You said
favorite-
boomer. No, he said it.
I was gonna say, is it in relation with Sooner
No.
or with take your meds?
No. It sounds-
We'll be the mayor pro tem.
All right. We'll back up.
We'll be the mayor pro tem.
I said, you don't come in.
Mayor pro tem.
Or is it pro pro?
Pro tem tem.
Pro tentative.
Mayor pro tem.
Isn't Isaac the temp temp?
Huh? They get to pick whoever they want.
Oh, do they?
Nominate yourself.
Oh, really? Is that really what?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Council's just like, you're anointed, do your thing.
There you go.
All rise.
Man, knowing you, I know you're just getting the heebie-jeebies sitting in the chair. It's awesome to watch. You squirming up there?
Seeing that we have a quorum, we'll call the workshop agenda, January 7th, 2025, 5:04 into session. Invitation to address council, I have Brian Byram. Make sure I got that, got your last name right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I didn't have my glasses on, so I better stop putting my
I've heard
glasses
it
on.
pronounced so many different ways,
Brian,
that's,
can you please state your name and either your address or your home address or your business address, whichever one's in keeping.
okay, yeah, Brian Byram, my business address is 228 Marina Bay Drive, Suite A, B, and C, I guess, so. I'm kind of late to the game on this because up until yesterday, I thought I was going to be presenting this to KCDC, and then it was suggested that this was probably a more appropriate place to talk about. So my wife and I run Lemaire Cafe, Kima Copies, and Horde right over here on Marina Bay Drive. Horde is it's a game store. It's tabletop games, right? Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Warhammer, stuff like that, right? We opened that up as kind of a accessory to the coffee shop, thinking that, you know, that it would help sales at the coffee shop. Well, it went nuts. Like, it's crazy. We're busy. You drive by there at night, you'll see the parking lots are full. People park at Target, walk across the street. It's crazy. But What we have found is that the majority of our customers play a game called Magic, right? And there are tournaments throughout, well, all over the world, but they draw a lot of people, these Magic tournaments, right? So what we're trying to do is put together a tournament in Kemah to bring people here for a weekend. We want it to be a weekend-long event. We want to close it off early so that they have time to go out on town, eat, spend money, do stuff, right? We want to encourage them to stay the whole weekend, spend time in the hotels, all that kind of stuff. So that's, I know I'm late to this whole process, but it was suggested to go ahead and get on the radar with you guys with kind of some general information. I've got some info printed out for you guys. And if I had more than a day, I would have had a much more professional presentation, but just didn't have, I had late notice, but I don't know, is there a time limit? Am I on a timer?
Yeah, minute 4.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, if you don't mind. So the idea is that we would, the attendance on these events is largely determined by the prizes offered, right? So the more prizes you offer, the more people you get. If you have a $10,000 prize pool, you'll get people from all over the country. We're talking about a $15,000 prize pool. We should be able to draw, I don't know, 150 people, players. And obviously they'll bring family, they'll, bring additional people with them. And they'll travel. This is also the kind of thing that we can get a lot of social media coverage on because there's a lot of live streaming that goes on, a lot of podcasters that come to these events, and it's very well followed on social media. So we can get those people. A lot of them are in Houston too. So it will be easy to get them here. So I guess that's pretty much it. I
If
mean,
you don't mind, please stay.
Yeah.
Because I think this is going to be kind of an open forum, right, Isaac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we have questions, we can ask here in a few minutes. So
Yeah.
your 3 minutes is up, but please stay. And then that way, if we do have questions, because I know nothing about what you just talked about.
I've learned a lot in the last year.
That's why I don't leave, because I have no idea. You're going to look at this piece of paper and be lost, so.
Yes, exactly, no problem.
Okay. Nobody else on that. Item 3, discussion regarding hotel occupancy tax hike sponsorship applications. Caesar.
Real quick before we go into the specific applications, as a rule of thumb, I'll speak with the louder so the mic can pick up while I'm up here. I'll be up here keeping a tally, being your Vanna White. Patty's got a few things that help us where we got here. Did you say? This project started with a group of folks, a small committee made up of Mayor, Lee, Leanna, and Patty, who got together and scored these things and got us to this point. Obviously, as come to you already, there were some questions about that, which is why you have new blank scoring sheets in front of you, along with a brief idea of how to score these or any questions you may have, or anything along the lines of helping you with information along with the applications that were all put out. Patty's got a few things, and then I'll chime in with a few other things here and there.
Okay, so we're reviewing the FY '26 hotel occupancy tax sponsorship applications. And then a little bit of background. The city annually allocates a portion of hot revenue to support events and activities that promote tourism and overnight stays in Kemah. This year, we received 11 applications, which is quite a bit more than we typically get. And each one was reviewed for eligibility under state hotline guides and city policy. I want to address the piece of supplemental information that was in the packet. Hotel nights and visitation estimates. Hotel nights were determined using Placer AI cellular location data. The only available data sets were for the Marriott Courtyard and the Boardwalk Inn. Now, because the Boardwalk Inn resides inside of a larger building, Placer AI can't pick up information specific to the hotel. It gave me information about the Boardwalk in general, but that is useful information because it reflects Boardwalk attendance. It reflects Boardwalk attendance rather than true hotel occupancy. So the Marriott data is more hotel-specific, direct, and the Boardwalk data is a directional indicator. We're being transparent about that so that council has a clear context when reviewing the applications. One of the things I wanted to note with Elite Red Fishing Tournament is, the request is more of a marketing request. Essentially, They hold the tournament, but their deliverable to us are the 2 videos that they put out. In the future, we'd like to recommend that future advertising requests like this be evaluated through the marketing plan rather than part of the sponsorship. I think that's more appropriate considering what the outcome is, right? I know the focus is on the application, but I want council to know the staff has identified a few process improvements to bring forward to your consideration. Do you want me to go with that?
Yeah.
Okay. As we move forward, we'd like to recommend bringing proposed updates to the HOT sponsorship program guidelines to a future council agenda item for discussion and direction. The goal is to strengthen the fairness, consistency, budgeting, and reporting requirements. Staff recommends council consider establishing a defined annual application window with a small contingency reserve for limited out-of-cycle tourism opportunities like you saw tonight. Creating a formal HOT sponsorship review committee and including hoteliers as part of the review process. Clarifying sponsorship awards versus tourism marketing purchases, so advertising type requests are evaluated through the marketing plan. Strengthening post-event reporting requirements so the council receives consistent measures across the board. Basically, actual hotel rooms, blocks that were created, that kind of thing. Staff will provide a draft guideline update for review and coordinate with the city manager's office, city administrator's office to bring this forward at a future meeting. That, Caesar, we can walk through the applications and recommendations.
Absolutely. Before we do that, I want to let you guys know the allocation dollar. If you notice, it's up there as well as far as the recommended award is at $95,000. The reason is for that because when you pass your budget, what I'm doing up here, for those that may have received from home, is all I have is a sheet of paper. It's like a big Post-it, or I'm keeping a running tally. If you tell me to subtract the number, we can keep going on paper, I will be your scratch paper for you. But you allocated $95,000. The proposal that's on the screen now shows you an allocation that was recommended by the committee for the full $95,000. However, some things that have come to light since we've done this. One, you've already approved the boat parade, which is through the chamber for the 7,500, up to 7,500, of which 4,500 has already been paid for. The right is confirmed. Another thing is, as you've heard tonight from a local business owner, we've got a proposal for this event. Well, not a formal proposal. We've been told about an interest in doing this event. We have a proposal from Iron Keel, who would like to do an event on the city parking lot. They actually want to do a fitness event at the city parking lot in June or July, if I'm not mistaken. We've also got a request for a pole vaulting competition. All of those came in after the deadline for HOT, which is why they were not included for this consideration. The deadline was a long time ago. But the only thing I would tell you is that if you would like to consider not allocating all the funds, in case one of these opportunities comes up, you have the autonomy to do that as well. That's our presentation. That's what we have. The rest of it is in front of you. I just told you about 3 possible events that would all arbitrarily possibly create heads and no's. With that, I digress.
Thoughts? I hate this part. So.
I mean, not all of those are in this deck though, is it? Is every one of those in here?
There may be 1 or 2 missing. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, I went through them.
They were.
They're all in,
Yeah.
you write it in. But, yeah, I mean.
Those are the copies that were made for you.
Right, those are just blanks for you
Review the
to.
score should you want to score them. As you can tell from the score sheet that we had above, you saw how it was rated by points and the rank that it was given by the previous committee that took on this project.
I mean, in my opinion, we already have scores for them. I guess we just need to decide if we agree with the
Yeah,
score.
we
I
do.
don't want to do all the scoring again.
That's fine. We didn't know what format you wanted to
Let's just run down the list.
have.
Start at the top.
That list is much more usable than trying to sort.
This
grade
is
them
the
with
list
this.
of the points that came out from the previous
Yes.
scores. According to this, Elite Fishing was recommended. They applied for 20,400. Last year they got 19,756, and they recommended for award at 18,000 with a score of 95, the highest score, ranking number 1. So they were ranked up there in order, as you can see. Actually, I don't see a 2 on there.
I think, before we go into
Oh,
that,
because it was a type or one,
Oh,
yes.
because Yachty Grout was
Right.
another number 1.
before we dive too deep into that, just to kind of talk about what you said about defining the deadline and what, like the lead redfish should probably be in the marketing, which I think is a really good idea because this is exactly what it is, right?
Right.
I think that some of these things should be flushed before they get here. Like if we took, for example, what actual hot fund is and what the expenditures can be by law, there's some things that probably don't belong here.
Well, and if you see the, if you see the ones that they see to score of 0.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying, like, everybody's not valuable, right? So if you could just, those should never reach us. They don't make it, sorry, there's another kind of fun ticket.
That's why you
Otherwise,
had two of them that are up there, 0, who did not qualify.
I'm just saying, like, this committee took the time to go over those. I would say those don't even, they shouldn't waste their time.
Okay.
Those should be head off, but at the staff level, that should be head off at the best.
And honestly, me wading into this being a new councilman, I was a little overwhelmed. I did my due diligence as much as I could, I guess I'm trying to say.
And I'm not saying we need to do it today, but like you said, we need to visit how we handle it later. Maybe part of that is how we, as a board, are gonna define what hot funds and how they're gonna be spent.
Absolutely.
And then once we
Absolutely.
set that parameter, then it makes it easier for you guys to flush those out.
Absolutely.
Correct,
Now,
right.
talking about the committee, we've gone that route a lot of times. The problem is, and I'm all for it, like, those people absolutely should be on that board.
It's finding.
But hotel leaders are busy, like, I would say their participation has been almost zero
Mhm.
when we've tried to include them. Not that they don't belong, it's just they're busy running their businesses,
Right.
And so just what ends up happening is we're the de facto board. And not that you shouldn't have somebody else, but just the reality of the matter is, we're the board, And we also have a better idea of what we're trying to do and where we want to go. So for now, I just think that's the best option, unless there's a better option comes up. And I'm all for it. I'm not, I don't want to be the board. I just think it's the most efficient way to do it at this point.
If that's a consensus we have, then we have.
But again, not that I want to add more to our plate, I just think it's the best way to handle it at this moment, unless something else comes up, which is my opinion. So that being said, okay. Fireworks, no fireworks in Jacob's here. Don't forget your drink.
Ain't never seen him move that fast.
Yeah, that's it.
So if,
Kiss of death.
I'd like to recognize that the mayor's here with us. If the thought tonight is that you would like to keep the recommended awards and the amount, if you'd like to adjust them in any which way, we can do so. If you'd like to leave some wiggle room for other events that may come up towards the end of the year, like the 3 proposals that we, officially we have not gotten the official proposal yet, but assuming that we do, that would be 3 proposals that have come in after the fact for events that would take place during this fiscal year, you may want to do that. And you don't have to allocate those funds yet, because those haven't been formally presented to you, but it's just a thought that you can have.
My recommendation to the board before it gets to us is anything that doesn't score 75 or higher should be omitted completely. Because if it doesn't bring at least 75% value in the board's opinion, then I don't know why we're spending money towards something just to be nice. I mean, that's all we're doing at that point, in my opinion. Because I don't even know what Three Brothers is. I don't know what Boots Scooty is.
That is Three Brothers was a marathon.
It's a 10K, I'm sorry, 5K. 5K, it's the bridge series where they do 5Ks over the bridges in the area. It's an event that's been held here before, the toughest 10K, I'm sorry, it's the toughest 10K. And it's been held here in the past, it's been held several years. However, a new group, the Three Brothers Running Company, recently took over the race.
And also, as you notice, as the ranks go down, the amount of funding potentially awarded would be minimal.
So I pulled up, I always like to do this, the Texas two-step regarding hot funds.
We actually have a printout for you.
Yeah. I mean, you start going through it, and part 1 is heads and beds, part 2 is the 9 categories. So I mean, just, some of these, I don't know how they fit the category. In fact, I don't know how Yachting Grow fits the category, but it makes it every year.
Please do. Well, and that's the thing, if you notice one of the, in section 2 of the Texas two-step, promotion of arts, you could argue that Yachty Gras and the boat parade are both arts. So it's all due to interpretation. Obviously, in that case, those who would qualify for the arts would.
Yeah, I don't know that it's that interpretive. I think legally, it's probably tighter than that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but, okay.
We did ask, we would not suggest this without
I guess my question was, these people notified of these amounts?
No, I mean, it's not public that it's being recommended, but that's still up to this council to approve.
Want to make sure we're not,
No one's been notified of, hey, yeah, you're getting this, you're getting that.
we did cut a check for $7,500 for the boat parade.
And that's because this was a voted item, voted separately. That's the only one that's been awarded because that was a separate item due to time sensitivity because the event was already occurred.
And this chart doesn't reflect the fact that the 4,500 came from a different source. So there's actually the 4,500 more in the account that you
I
approved.
guess at the end of the day, I mean, does this board want to support new events and get them off the ground? Or do we want to just continue to support the same event year after year? Because I would think that you're here to help them get their feet on the ground and become successful as sponsors outside of the city and have a successful event in our city without us having to participate in a large amount. It seems like they just lean on us and don't do anything on their side and just expect us to be the sponsor. That's what I've seen in the 4 years I've been set up here. But that's just my opinion.
And Councilman Ronald, to your point, HEMA's gonna get more requests, right? There will be more requests.
I mean, I'm already interested to get Brian back up here and learn more about this board game. This is something that's not in my wheelhouse by no means, but I know it's out there because I spent this weekend and watched Fortnite with the kids and had no clue how animated that thing was. But I mean, I have a new appreciation for it.
Well, part of the approval
I'm
would be for
invested
you
in
to go
Epic
sit through
Games
that.
and now I'm gonna take my investment out of the Epic Games.
Yeah, I mean, part of the approval is gonna be for you to go sit through all those hours of the gaming.
Oh,
Again, Council, we did the best to educate you. You're getting more requests than what you got before. You notice you had 4 new requests this year. 3 new requests. Looks like you also have another possible 1 requester who's here present, 2 others that aren't here. It's going to continue to happen, right? You're going to have that.
To speak to what you're saying, though, I agree to an extent, but there's a couple of things in there that are actually really good events for the city that actually bring a lot of people. Outlaw Challenge. And that's a good,
That's an event, so.
that's a good event.
Votes or.
I mean, it flushes, it fills the city up and that he would do that. He would do more. He would bring people to town, have them stay here. I mean, Paul Robinson's talked to me about that. I'll talk to you about that too. He would make it better.
I think he's at least willing to listen to our concerns and work with us.
He's a good player. And so is Redfish. But if there's another bucket for them, please send it over there because this is the hardest one to spend. What's the other one? Fireworks. Now, we talked about that and we've had some opposition to it. Kyle sat right there and said that it's something we can pay. I think it does good. There's some people that would argue that it doesn't. But I think when the main feeder is the boardwalk, do you guys do good on firework nights?
Would the GM of the boardwalk like to answer that question?
Yes.
You have to step up to the mic. You gotta step up to the mic.
So,
We ran the numbers, pre-pandemic, we were doing fireworks year after year after year. It was a staple. Magazines were running it. Everybody around the state knew we did it. It was just, if you were going to vacation to Kemah, at least come Friday and then stay through the weekend because they're going to have fireworks. So 4 years go by with no fireworks show because of COVID and things like that. And so it took a year to kind of, that boost, that initial 50,000 was very helpful to get it started because executives did not want to approve it. It's very expensive to do fireworks. We didn't get quite back to 2019 levels the first year. This past year, we grew even beyond that first year. So we're closer to 2019 levels. We expect that to continue to grow and then exceed where we were prior to COVID. So fireworks is a big deal. It drives our Fridays. Without it, 2021, we didn't feel the effects because everybody's busier. People want to get out. 22, you started to see it wane. By 23, Fridays were basically dead ghost towns. And so we're seeing it resurge, and it's all because of fireworks. And while I'm up here, the only last thing I'll note, obviously there's a lot of things to compete against, but just to give this little nugget for going up to the amount that was requested is with World Cup, there's a lot of other activities that we're planning. Some of that isn't fireworks driven, but it is entertainment driven that we're not looking for money for anything World Cup wise. But again, anything that's offsetting or supporting the fireworks cost will also support us driving other new initiatives for World Cup. So that's it. Thank you.
I think that's important. I mean, when you look at the top 10 revenue generators, the Boardwalk's number 2 and number 4, but you can find just the way you set up your business. Put them together, it's fine number 1. If it drives it, I think that's important. So if Kyle said it's okay, I'm all for that amount, at least.
I have a question. Darren, you mentioned if there was a cutoff at 75% or points wise, would that give these newer people a chance to get their feet on the ground? I mean, I like that idea. I mean, we have to pare this down somehow.
Well, I mean, I think if Brian over here can bring 200 people to town, I can name 2 or 3 events up there that do not do that. I can guarantee you that. And he can prove it because he's gonna have entry forms. So, I mean, and to me, if I can get him off the ground and get him 2 or 3 years under his belt, I would hope that he can sustain that, probably get some sponsors and still keep bringing that event to town. And I'm not saying we don't participate in any way because we still have the community center and some other things that we can participate with, but it shouldn't be a financial deal. We should have somebody else like Brian coming in here and saying, okay, how do I get my first 2 events off the ground so that we can proceed forward and continue this on. Boardwalk's a different creature, don't disagree with that. Outlaw Challenge is a great event, not disagreeing with that, but, like Crew to Lock, I'm a member of it, but I mean, what do they do for this town? Everybody's here local. I mean, we're just supporting a local organization.
Many years ago, that was the whole entire purpose of these funds was to start support for an entity and let them grow on their own and then support themselves.
I think we need to give them
And I think that
guidelines.
started
I think from a city standpoint, we'll say, we're going to participate in this 2, maybe 3 events. If it's biannual, twice or 3 times or whatever, and then we expect you to stand alone. I mean, we can't just continue feeding the beast. You got to figure out how to make this a successful event from your side. There's going to take some work on their side too, because there's sponsorships out there. I mean, people can get sponsors. So I mean,
I would say with the exception of the big 3 or whatever, right? With the exception of the big ones.
And just mathematically, with the point that was made by Councilman Broadus, when it comes to the score of 75, if you choose to do that, there's only 2 recommended awards that are below 75, and the total output of those is $3,500, which would be Boot Scoot for 1,000 and 3 rows for 2,500. So if that's the criteria you want to follow, the score is.
no, I'm not saying, I'm just throwing it out there as a recommendation. I hate this thing.
No, but just to piggyback on what you're saying.
You can look at this from 100 different directions and everybody can have an opinion, and I've heard it for the last 4 years and everybody has their own opinions. But I mean, we never have come up with any guidelines. It's like coming up with new KCDC numbers. We do it different every time. Every year we do this different every time. So I mean, there's been no consistency. So if there's a way for us to get consistent and then send it out to people and say, hey, yes, we are wanting to help new organizations come to town, but it's going to be on a limited basis, and you're going to have to figure out how to stand alone, not just be grandfathered in and we support you for the rest of your life.
So the idea of seed money for events like you're talking about is a pretty common thread through different programs like ours, right? A lot of cities do have that it's a seed money. It's to get things started, and then as they grow, they should either be either generating revenue to be able to support the event onward. So it's not an uncommon practice.
It's just where does this board want to go? Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's our decision. I mean, I'm just one person sitting up here. But I've been through it as Isaac and Rob. We've been through it how many different ways since I've been sitting here.
But at least we did have a committee every year for the last 3 years, I think.
So we have a draft plan, a draft program kind of thing, and was going to work with Caesar to kind of finalize it and maybe get it on a future agenda for y'all to look at and kind of tweak again. So I'll take all this information as well.
Some of these have to be paid here pretty quick.
Well, this is for ongoing, for future ones.
That's what I say. I mean,
So we're, if everybody agrees that Outlaw and Elite should be on the list, that's $43,000 right there, at least 52 to play with.
Can you repeat that?
Well,
Agree on what?
if everybody agrees that Outlaw and Elite are 2 of the ones that should be on there, that's 43,000 based on the. Well, I'm not gonna debate that one. Y'all can argue.
Boardwalk, and you've already paid 7,500 for.
So you got 52.
Well, you got Boardwalk, you got Yachty Gras, Outlaw Challenge, Elite Fishing.
52.
Is there room in the marketing budget for Elite Fishing now?
I'm sorry?
You mentioned elite fishing going to the marketing budget.
No, it's not in the marketing budget this year, but that's a recommendation for moving forward. And he did put in an application for this year. Right.
Shalia, did you have a comment?
Have to step up to the mic.
So 44.5, if you had boat parade, what,
Those four,
well, I'm not, I'll let y'all debate the boardwalk number.
We're telling you, we need to know, what's 19?
On the- It's
I can
62.
tell so much wrong with that.
62.
We'll put outlaw on there, put elite on there, sorry, Shalia.
You're good.
Put boat parade on there, well, boat parade's already on there. And you can put the boardwalk and I'm not gonna tell you what number to put, they can argue about that. Go ahead, sorry.
What I'm gonna say is probably not gonna be popular, but well, hey, what else is new from me? Foundations, multi-billion, from like Rockefeller Foundation, Gates Foundation, they give out money all the time. And I'm not saying that these organizations should apply to those, but there needs to be a process. A process helps. And I assure you, if I turn in, or an organization I'm associated with turns in a grant application past the time, you get a cute little letter, if that. Thank you for applying. We had great applicants, but you unfortunately did not meet the deadline. Please try again next year. Have some processes. And a second thing I want to say is, and I'm trying to say this very tactfully, the members of the committee in past years, I'm not speaking for this year, have been members, I allege, that have just been appointed, assigned. And it goes on not only with this committee, with others, where people don't show up. Open it up, and I'll give it to 30 seconds. Open it up to people that want to. And I've tried for probably 4 years to get that to happen. Just open it up, because they're, especially new citizens in the community, have passions. Allow them, instead of going back, running around the world with the same faces. That's all I have to say.
Which I agree, in theory, that's a good idea. The problem is, when you do something like that, which we have not been good at in the past, is setting up a board of some kind and not directing them how we want, what the board's doing. Because ultimately, whatever they decide has got to be approved by us. So we should communicate with them what our visions are and hopefully they align. Not that they have to do what we say. It's just that you're working against each other if it doesn't work out, in my opinion. So, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Trust me, take it out of our hands, but we need the right people to do it.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I have the numbers correct. Boat parade, outlaw, elite fishing, and
You're
boardwalk.
missing one. Yachty Grove.
Yachty Grove.
Well, you got it on there. That's boat, but she has a good boat parade, right?
Yeah.
Boat parade is the Chamber Christmas parade.
Christmas parade is the top one.
That's the chamber.
Well, you know, the other thing we've talked about in the past that we've never done is creating another bucket for money for these legacy events that don't need necessarily come out here. Like, I don't know what is the Chamber Boat Parade at Yachty Grove? How's that hot fun? I mean, I'm open ears. Explain to me how it works.
Well, the chamber boat parade used to be in the budget, I think, not in this.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not saying that the events that should happen, it's just how, somebody explain to me how those are hot, fun events.
Again, the boat
I'm
parade.
listening. You're gonna go to arts, well then you can say the running thing is art too, because running is an art, that's ridiculous.
Okay, well, not necessarily, because that qualifies as a sporting. A little bit different. One could argue boating either qualifies as sporting, or in this case, through
When
art.
I say the arts, it's like, you know, you think of the art that's at the mural park, or the ball we just bought. That's art.
Or performing arts, or visual arts, and I'm the least artful person here, as you can tell, I don't draw in straight lines. So, just, I'm not the best person to ask for interpretation of arts, I just know that that's one of the qualifications.
I'll work on that.
You guys have in Texas, two sets.
Totaling all those up is what, 78,000?
I don't, depending on what application you give each.
Well, just go with the recommended one for now, and then we'll argue
so,
from that.
So what's the BLM production?
That's
so the
the,
boat parade 7,500, outlaw is, I don't know,
it's the Butler Longhorn Museum. They put that one in, they're requesting funding to be able to do brochures that they would put in travel, in, you know, the travel guides that people put around the state. And some advertising as well, some digital advertising.
Can you collapse that so we can see the numbers?
Sorry, I'm looking at you, I didn't grow. It's at 25.
What'd you
And
say?
how much was that, 77?
77,000.
77.
Butler Longhorn Museum. That's the answer to the question you had.
Yes. Mhm. And I put in two applications. One was for their Boot Scoot. It's a fundraising event that they bring people in from out of town for that. And so they applied for it for that.
That might be the closest thing to Hot Fun that's up there, to be honest with you. Convention and Visitor Bureau,
You got
Promotion of the Arts. Oh, I remember.
Can we have Ron come back up and explain it since everybody's overthinking? Sure. You don't mind, Ron? Explain a little bit more in detail what you were.
Yeah.
So what we're looking to do right now is try to do 2 events in the year, in the year cycle. A lot of these are annual events that have been established in other areas. They've got them. People drive to Killeen to do these things. Like a bunch of my guys that play at our store went to Killeen to a tournament, and they filled up. It's like 100 people in there, and that's Killeen.
So for 100 people,
Yeah.
how much square footage do you need to?
I could use a community center. Community center would be perfect. It'd be enough room for that and a little bit of expansion, and then probably some smaller vendor type deals. Because this is going to be an all day thing, right?
It's like chess where they just play side by side?
Yeah, it's across from each other, and it's brackets, it's everything. I mean, it's a full day event. And that's the cool thing about it for Kemah is that these people are going to bring their family with them. They're not going to sit there all day while dad's playing cards. They're going somewhere else. They're going to go to the boardwalk. They're going to move around. They're not going to sit there all day.
So I guess to manage, you want it in one location, so, because you got to monitor it and probably.
Yeah.
You don't cheat.
Yes, definitely. It'd be much easier to.
Tests or anything like
And it
that.
do goes long enough that they would probably get a room and stay.
Correct. Well, it's a multi-day event, right?
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a weekend-long thing. The brackets kind of, as you win or lose, it gets smaller as you go, but it takes a weekend to run one of these that's that size. Typically, they run pretty late at night, but our thought was to start a little earlier, end a little earlier to give them time to go out to dinner and go spend time in town, right? We don't want them stuck there all night, go straight to the room, go to sleep. We want to be in Kemah,
So I guess has he put an ask in for the city?
Not yet, we just learned about this.
It's a 20K,
It was 20K in the packet. I guess that's my question. What is the 20K going towards? Like, what do you need the 20K for?
My total cost estimate to run it's going to be about 40, and
For both of them?
for each event.
Okay.
So what the biggest cost is going to be the prizing, right? We've got to buy these prizes. Believe it or not, they will come to play for one card that costs $8,000, right?
What?
One card.
One car.
Pokemon, yes?
Yeah.
I know a little bit.
Are these old cards?
No.
No,
Some of them are, some of them are not, and
So if I have notebooks full of old Pokemon cards.
bring them to
they
the
might-
store and let me look at them.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, there you go.
We got
The
binders
mayor's
these
sponsored.
days,
Yeah.
30 years
Done.
old.
And on that note too, these aren't kids.
No,
These
I
are
know,
adults.
I know.
This is not a kid event. This is a full-on, both of the banks that I do business with, my bankers come in and play Magic. Like my lawyer plays Magic. Like it's business professionals, it's people that spend money. It's not it can be really cool. we're talking about calling it the Kima crisis, because a lot of these are named like, a lot of this is based around mythology and fantasy. So there's dragons and there's all this kind of stuff, right? So we're talking about, we made some graphics where like there's a dragon taking the boardwalk out, you know, like it's just, it's just a fun, like, I don't know, fun way to get our guys engaged.
You say your cost is 40, what's the entry fee?
The entry fees, I think I've got them set at about 100,
125.
125, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, this is also, like I said, a full day event, so I've got to feed the participants. T-Bone Tom's right across the street, you know, there's multiple people I can talk to and work all that kind of stuff out and keep that local, of course.
In your pricing, in your 40,000, you say 40,000 per event?
Yeah.
Is how you're gonna host it, like the venue, is that part of that money?
Yes,
So
Yeah, that's all.
So if we give you the community center for free, that's some of that money.
that comes out of there.
What do you have that
They
dollar, what does that dollar amount be?
I can't remember what we talked about. I had this on hold until 2 days ago. So all the numbers and everything are out of my head at the moment.
But
I had
that
talked-
would be the donation of the community
Yeah.
center, and whatever that amount is for you, if it's, 5,000 or something, whatever it
I
is.
talked to, I can't remember her name, one of the ladies that schedules everything over there. We had talked about it last year and got some numbers together, but I don't remember what they were, but it's all figured into my budget. But yeah, that's certainly part of it for sure. And kind of moving forward growth-wise, year over year, there's shows in George R. Brown Convention Center for this stuff, right? Where they pack that place out, it's full of vendors, they're selling cards, they're selling all the little things that go along with the games. There's no reason that we couldn't have and those are huge. I mean, those are giant events. There's no reason that we couldn't have a card show along with the tournament, because that happens a lot. They have a tournament and a card show, right? We could very easily do that. I think we have the facilities. We could, the Marriott's next door. They got room. There's ways that we can work that and grow to be a pretty big event. And this draws people.
How many square foot's upstairs?
Jacob, how many square feet are the second floor Landry's?
Square feet, the second floor of Landry's.
It's 250, I think.
It's,
200.
200.
For the sake of time, only because you've got another council meeting right after an actual council meeting right after this. A brief recommendation, right now, you're up to 70, I'm sorry, cover off.
Yeah, no.
You're at 77,000 now, so you're 18,000 from the total application, should you want to use all of it. If you were to give the remaining folks, which were Food and Lock, Boot Scoop, BLM, and Three Bros, half of what they requested, I don't know the math on that, but it would give you a little bit of leeway room should you want to keep it for later. So help me out with the math real quick. 2,500 plus 2,250 plus 1,000 plus, what's the math on that? Half of 1,670, 784, 8 and change, whatever that number
They
is.
still doing that triathlon?
Not yet, but they started kicking the tires around. They started
I've
asking.
heard rumor about it.
They're trying to start back up.
That still gives you some seed money if you, in the future, although you're right, the deadline is passed, if we want to do it that way. If you wanted to give a small amount of $1,000 for a new event that would come up, Mr. Brown, sorry, not to say that 40,000, 1,000, but if that came along with maybe use it at the community center, things of that nature, then it does amplify that sponsorship in the future.
I would say no to Boot Scoop, my opinion. Half of BLM, no to Three Brothers. Whatever you want to do with Food and Lock. And leave the rest for people, and then have them submit a proper application.
Yeah, we do that for all
And
the
then let them know,
Explain to me your thought process on BLM, I'm just curious.
well, it's a museum. And part of actual hot funding is arts, that's actual, just my opinion, it's Convention Center, Visitors Bureau,
Yeah.
most of the arts, historical restoration and preservation.
Have we run a place or AI on this and see how many people have actually walked to their door?
I have not, but I can.
I'd be curious to see.
I'm just saying half of
what's
that,
in
and that's
there.
for 10, I'd say 5. But I mean, yeah, we would investigate it more.
So
I'd
the
like
two,
to investigate that one more.
the two applications that they put in, one is, the Boy Scout is for an event. The publications is for marketing materials. So it's not an actual event, it's marketing materials.
Which one?
The Boy applications.
Luke's good, which is for national event that they're hosting.
Yeah, that's a no. That's not gonna say no. Because it doesn't really say in there, I'm looking at the application.
The amount requested,
16,784, not even the same amount.
that's what they requested.
And inside of their application, they have all of the different, the breakdown basically of what they were looking to do with it.
Oh, I see. That's a good point, actually. I mean, who actually walks through there and $10,000 worth of marketing material, that lasts them 10 years.
That's what I'm saying, I mean,
But again, I'm saying 5. Cut it down.
5 would be 11.
That's just me.
well, there's curiosity, I mean, there's,
I would say no to the other ones. And then, again, Crew to Lock has been in, 20-something years longer than that? No, they were doing that parade when I moved
I
again.
was sure saying that parade's, that
I
all
didn't say we
started
don't do
here.
good for our
No.
publicity of our town, I'm not saying
Yeah,
that.
I would just, but it's a legacy event, just like the other ones. And maybe there should be another bucket for that. Like,
That's what I'm saying, I
maybe we do
think it all got consolidated in COVID,
Yeah.
I think, before I got on this board, because I don't think these were technically hot funds, but.
Yeah, so I asked Deanna about that. And I said, whenever we go through these things, like, are you actually, people staying the night? And she said, no, they actually have people stay the night at 2 events.
For the ball, I know
The
they do.
ball,
The
Oh, I know they do.
the ball and the book crawl. They have room set up, they have discounts set up with the hotels, and so that's what she told me. So they actually do it and actually keep up with it, and it's actually in the paperwork. By the way, Brian, whenever you do yours, that's something you're gonna have to prove up later, right after you get your funds. You have to come back and show that they actually stayed. You have to follow up with that, talk to the hotels, maybe see if they offer you a discount box. That's what these other people do, so that's what I recommend, that helps. So that's just what she told me when I asked her, Deanna, about Crew to Lock.
And that's a requirement I'd like to strengthen in the post-event, when we do a process. I'd like to strengthen having them actually show room blocks. So, right now people say, well, we use this hotel and we use this hotel and we use this hotel. But I'd like to see them either have a letter from the hotel saying, we have this many people staying, or show a room block.
Well, that's what I recommend. What's that total?
Was 3 Bros a definite no? Just for me, I haven't read, I want to make sure. Do you want to reduce the amount?
For me, it is. You're welcome to have your opinion about it.
I guess what's good, the estimated attendance of that marathon, I mean, is it in here?
The hotel stays were in it. So
How many people they anticipate? I mean, Chevron's this weekend will be 100,000.
the Three Brothers Running Company, the toughest 10K was an interesting one because they actually put in their application for the event that they held previously. And so it was like right at the very beginning of the fiscal year, right? And so I left it in there because it is it's a new group asking for money, and I wanted to make sure that you guys knew the interest that was out there. So I have hotel numbers in there for them, but I have less information about them because this was their first year of running the race, of managing the race.
You have a lot of locals on that, Darren. It used to be part of the series. I don't know if they still own it.
It is, yes.
The Bridge series or the part of
It is, and they are actively marketing the series quite a bit more than the previous promoter did.
While he's digging through that, if you take Placer AI and you narrow it down to 50 feet around what is pinging as the Echo Museum, it's 1,800 visits. 1,100 people for 1,800 visits.
You're looking at their application.
I'm looking at their Placer AI that he asked for.
For Butler?
Yes, ma'am.
That's for the year.
That's for 2025.
Say it one more time, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Butler Longhorn Museum's attendance, if you
So-
narrow the ring down to 50 feet, because it's going to pick up a piece of the gym, it's going to pick up a piece of whoever's on the other side, but that's as small as I can make the circle.
Right.
It's 1,800 visits, which represent 1,100 people. So some of that's an employee phone. That's just
$100 a month.
for 2025. So
Well,
they
they
didn't open all year, so it's a little, it'll be less than.
When they open.
Since I've been here, I've seen it for like 6 months.
It's been longer than that.
Yeah, let's say, we didn't do the cut the ribbon
When
cutting
did I,
until
when did I,
later.
when did I go do
Yeah, you
the
went,
welcome committee thing?
thing.
That was been more than 6 months ago.
yeah, they've been there at least
A
9
year.
months or
I'll
a
say
year, I would guess, you know.
I haven't been here a year yet, so I know it's since I've been here, so.
Yeah. I went, actually, but it's pretty good stuff. When Robin couldn't make it, I went and did a welcome thing. Yeah, the Cattlemen Association come in, and that place was packed.
And that's what the
Well,
boat
I
scoot,
came to town state, that actually was
Yeah.
packed.
that's what the boat scoot is it's the Cattlemen's Association event that they
And those
hold.
people actually come from all over. The Longhorn
It comes
Breeding.
from
is
all
all
over
over.
this state, yeah.
And they stay, and they're talking about how they went to people in town, they were looking for somewhere else to go, and they stay in town. That's actually really good.
So right now, you got Blue Scoop is out according to our current layout, and BLM is in at 5,000. Do you want to make any changes there? Now that you have new data on the presentation. No, this is BLM and Blue Scoop.
74 forests was up there.
They have 70.
We're sitting at 82, right there.
They flip flop it and they do 2,000 for the boot scoot and then they take the BLM publication out. I don't think we should publicize it for somebody else.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
What about,
Sponsor the event where you
I
say
would
people
think
are
so,
coming and actually staying and spending money, so flip flop it, put the 2,000 for the boot scoot and then take 0 BLM publications. Just go by.
to give more of it, okay, I see what you're saying, give one of the ask one, take away the other. Is there, again, I'm just throwing this out there since we've only got 7 minutes left. Is there a manner of which the marketing budget could be expanded to take the elite fishing?
This year, no.
Is there a budget amendment that could be done?
Oh, a budget amendment,
Not without going into contingency
Which is what?
Fund balance.
in your fund balance.
So a little over $1 million.
I think that's the best idea I heard all night, was put that in marketing, and then that frees up another 18 grand. Yeah. I'm not opinionated enough to have an opinion on BLM or out boot scoots, whatever you want to do.
So it sounds like everyone's made a consensus on the other ones. The ones that we have a question on are Crude to Lock, Boot Scoot, BLM, and Three Pros.
I think Crude Lock does stay in those two events. I mean, for what they're asking for, I think that's probably, if there's a number to put on it, figure that out. They've marked their stage, right? I haven't quite figured this thing out yet.
Yeah, turn it
I
on
think it's
first.
$12,500 for something to get our test later. Know what that should be.
Easy, bro.
They said they fall off.
I'm glad you were sitting in it.
Did you say BLM was 0? I heard 5,000, I heard 0.
0 for BLM, 2,000 for Boot Scoot.
Gotcha. And we just need an answer. Crude to Lock, you recommend stay the same.
I recommend stay the same.
Is there consensus on that?
Yeah, you sit here.
And can we,
Oh, no, you've been sitting.
I would like to look
I
at
have been
expanding
tested,
the marketing. for
all
elite.
negative.
Okay, if you can get marketing, if it makes sense to add that to marketing, do that and free up 18 grand. That's my recommendation. And then when other people come in, we got more money to spend.
We'd have to bring that back as a separate council.
I would please, for my purposes, please bring that up.
Okay. So that would be for elite fishing for the 18,000. Final sign.
So let's have a final look at the what you call it,
I've got it.
fund balance and the.
If you're doing it this way right now, BLM being 0 and removing Three Bros altogether, you freed up 12.5 from where you are now.
I'm at 74,
So.
71,
What
2,000
on that? What is that?
82.5.
83.5 is where you are now. You freed up 12.5. If you leave them as is, as was shown on the screen right now, by eliminating BLM and eliminate it.
2,000.
No comment.
Oh, I had 10,000.
Yeah, 2. And then take off the 10,000.
Gotcha.
Yes.
You got 18. 74. What'd you get?
I don't know, Vanna White's doing a terrible job.
82,500.
That's what we.
And that would leave you a contingency for,
Thanks, Vanna.
to consider.
I was depending on Vanna to take care of it. She sucks.
Thank you. Sergeant brought to my attention that since we did increase boot scoot by 1,000, it's actually 11,500, which means your balance is now 83,500. That's what you allocated. Thank you.
I'm good with that, and from, if you don't mind, you can even tell me, you can even email me. And let me know where we at, can we move that? Is there a manner by which you can move the
18.
the 18?
I mean, there's a manner, just if.
I just want to look at it, like, I don't want to just say yes, I want to look at the budget and understand
Sure,
it.
sure, but that would come back in the form of a
Okay,
motion.
yeah, please do that. And then you can free that up and you can.
So definitively,
Have him,
this is the action.
have him apply.
you will take this, we'll have him and the rest of the spending proposals formally apply. This is your total number. This will be the action that we take later. So if somebody, I don't know if we want to just have this, can you snapshot this for later?
I'm sending it to Teams right now.
So we can have that, because this is the action we'll take at the 6 o'clock meeting to allocate these funds accordingly. But just to make sure, you talked about having bigger events. We want to keep BLM and Three Bros at 0 and not give them any seed money.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Thank you.
That's it? All right.
Yeah,
We will call a meeting over at 5:57.
Oh, sorry, man.
Pull this back up. Resurface this.
What?
I did screenshot it. Yes.
I know you do. Why is this good?
Now I know why you listen to that.
Intimidating up here.
They're talking like. I'm trying to-
It's intimidating up here.
Well, usually this. You all right?
Good.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm here. How are you?
Pretty good.
Oh, hi, how are you doing?
I couldn't figure out how to download it. Download the agenda, and then it never did anything. I'll just look at her screen. She told me to go get it. I was like, no, I'm not pulling that out of the spot. He was like, go get his mic. I was like, no. I'm pulling a mic out. Especially every time. What the video look like. Sir?
Seeing we have a quorum, I will call to order the City of Kima City Council and Kima Public Facilities Corporation regular meeting, January 7th, 2026 at 6:01 PM. And the first thing on the agenda are the pledges.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Next thing on the agenda is a moment of silence. And the next thing on the agenda is invitation to address council, and Shalia Thorne is the only one signed up.
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to speak as a member of the public. I just had a question on what you've listed for executive session and then number 10 and then number 11, because obviously I allege that no action can be taken in executive session that is not done in public session. So I'm just curious, and because it does state that you're talking about information about the open meetings or public information, at least that's my understanding of it. So I'd like a little bit of clarification about that. Then my next question is, I would like to commend the city for the publicity with Shakia, with Mr. Shack. It was very well received, and I think it's going to be very encouraging to the city's cadet to actually have that type of support. And of course, I allege that it also takes that financial burden off the city to continue whatever, because I did get a copy of the contract, the alleged contract with the young man. So I would just hope that that's followed. Thank you very much.
The next on the agenda is proclamations. Tonight, it's recognition of the City of Kima as a We Hire Vets recognized employer through the Texas Workforce Commission and the Texas Veterans Commission. And Leanna Kinzer is going to talk about that.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. As stated, we are now a We Hire Vet City. I attended a conference and learned about this opportunity, which greatly aligns with our values here in the City of Kima. We needed 5% of our workforce to be veterans, or 2.5. We have 10 here at the City of Kima, or 20%. And I would just like to recognize them. our city administrator, one of our public works workers, our police captain, our police lieutenant, 2 sergeants, 1 detective, 2 officers, and 1 chaplain. We were presented with a certificate. This is in all of your packets, and then we're also going to have it framed and put here at City Hall. And then we also are receiving stickers that say "We Hire Vets" that are going to go on all of our city vehicles. We are very proud of our veterans in this distinction. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanna. And thank you for your service that work here in the city.
Mayor, if I can too, kudos to Leanna for doing that. But also, we will be having that prominently displayed on our website as well, as far as all of our certifications as well. And those stickers will be affixed to all of our employee vehicles because that does work as a form of recruitment for staff and also retention.
And Patty will do something with social media, I assume. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is mayor's comments. Well, good evening, everyone. And before I say anything else, I want to take a moment to recognize the wonderful partnership we're proud to be part of here in Kemah. Last month, the city was honored to serve as a presenting sponsor for the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce Christmas Boat Parade, which we've been doing a long time. But it's a longstanding tradition that brings families together and shines a spotlight on our waterfront during the holidays. At the Chamber's awards banquet, they presented the city with a beautiful sponsor plaque, and we sincerely appreciate that recognition. Events like that remind us of what, makes our community special. I believe this is the plaque. I wasn't able to attend, but I'm glad for whoever did go and accept in our behalf. I also want to take a little bit of time to thank Public Works Department. They did a wonderful job decorating Kemah for the holidays. The city looked beautiful, I thought, this year, brought a lot of holiday spirit to the community, and it was clear that people were really enjoying it. The Christmas tree lighting was over the top this year, and I enjoyed all the children being out. Also want to thank the Kemah Police Department and Public Works for their hard work managing traffic and crowds during the Boardwalk's New Year's Eve event. It takes planning and teamwork to pull this off and to keep the event like that safe. We had no big incidents at all, and we're very grateful to both of your dedication to the city when we have an event like that, and we have several throughout the year, I know. But now that the holidays are behind us, it's time to shift our sights to the next big season, which we've already been talking about a little bit, Mardi Gras. And there's no better place to enjoy it than here in Kemah. We'll be welcoming the Cru de Lac Mardi Gras Parade Saturday, January 31st. It's very early this year. And then the Mardi Gras Boat Parade will roll through Saturday, February 7th. That'll go, passing through the boardwalk with the boats decked out and throwing beads and all of that. And also to remind you that the city offices will be closed Monday, January 19th in observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And on a business note, the city will be hosting the Kemah Business Alliance kickoff meeting on Monday, January 12th at the Kemah Community Center. And that'll begin at 8:30 in the morning. The city staff will share updates on all projects that are underway, and we hope that all local business owners will join us to stay connected with what the city's doing as we're moving forward through 2026. We'll also have a business resource fair that morning. Both are free and open to all Kemah businesses, and we encourage everyone to pre-register at kematx.gov under the business tab, or call Patty. I also want to address a concern we received from residents, and this has to do with the situation for parking out at the Lavano Kemah apartment complex. Unfortunately, that property is not inside the Kemah city limits, and it's not under the city's jurisdiction. However, we are working to ensure that this information is directed to the proper agencies so that however it needs to be addressed appropriately, it will be. And finally, I want to make residents aware of more TxDOT roadway closures that will affect travel in the area. TxDOT will be closing State Highway 96, both eastbound and westbound, from Evergreen Memorial to Highway 146. And this will all begin Friday, January 9th at 8 in the evening And it'll be closed until Monday. So I guess that's the weekend, basically. So it'll be closed until Monday, January 12th at 5 a.m. Detour options will include Evergreen Memorial, Anderson, and Lawrence. Maybe it's supposed to be Anders. I'm sorry. Anders and Lawrence. Drivers should expect delays and just, plot and plan your time around that. But Kemah Police will also be patrolling the area, and we appreciate that. Next will be councilman comments. Councilman Broadus, would you like to go first?
Thanks for everybody for attending tonight, and let's just have a good meeting. Thank you.
And Councilman Oliver?
Just thank you, everybody, for coming out. Hope everybody had a good holiday season and get back to it.
And Councilman Wallace?
What they said.
And Councilman Saldana?
Ready to get to work.
Okay, thank you all. Okay, next on the agenda is the city administrator's report, and I will turn that over to Caesar.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to take a moment and acknowledge the fact that we had a visit, obviously occurred back in October. We received a letter in November. TCQ's office came in and did an inspection of our MS4 area within the city limits and found us to have no violations. So I want to share that with you guys, and kudos to our public works team and our stormwater folks who assist us with that. So I want to share that with you and publicly. We have had some TCQ concerns that have come up since this. Not ours, but local businesses, and we are working with our code enforcement and through our public works department to get that taken care of. So we definitely look forward to moving, to continue to have no violations throughout the city. Also, to comment real quick on the Lavano situation, as of this afternoon, we have let those folks know, those folks that are just outside the city limits, what office with the county to contact. Ms. Jerry put them in touch with them already. And unfortunately, that does fall outside of our jurisdiction. And last, I know the biggest concern about the road closure, how are folks going to get to Lupe Tortilla? There will be access through the entrance off of Evergreen.
Okay, great.
I have one question.
Yes,
Where
sir.
are we at on the drainage project in West Kemah?
As of our call this morning, they have been delayed. There's some pipes that are running underground. They're running under the roadway. We won't know until, I saw images earlier today that they did cut some of those pipelines, but we still need Dow to abandon and fully remove one of the other ones before we can finish that project on the roadway. We are delayed, but we're still well within the time frame. We have until July to finish it, and we're still within the time frame to hopefully finish before the end of March. I apologize. I was going to have that report at the next council meeting, depending on what happened with the Dow line tonight. They were still out there as of till early this morning, or early this afternoon.
Are you going to comment on code updates?
I don't have any comments for this agenda right now, but I do know we're working through some code situations and some conflicts.
Any other questions or comments for Caesar? Next on the agenda is reports from staff. I believe they're all within your packet. If anybody has anything they want to ask staff, there is present.
Mayor, I'd like to just take a quick moment to put special eyes on the FEMA closeout. Kudos to our finance team for getting that closeout done for the project closeouts on both of those. I wanted to also, again, thank you for your support of next level usage. October, November was a very high usage month. And also to point that our sales tax sort of rebounded this month. I know last month we took a slight dip, and we'll have the December report available to you at the next meeting at the end of, in 2 weeks. Obviously, we're behind because we didn't have a second meeting of the month, but kudos to those departments and obviously all of them for doing that. And police department continues to keep rocking with a almost double call for service that they've had over the past 2 years.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the executive session, so we will adjourn at 6:14 for executive session.
She can put those on.
I give you water. Well, you said you were buying pizza.
You did. You said, I'm gonna buy some pizza for everybody.
Due to unforeseen circumstances. Nothing but for
I think you have a couple of boxes you were waiting on, they're up there. Effective immediately, all the boxes get brought over here. Don't be mad when you're. Oh.
Oh, in the lobby.
No, we knew it, we already, no, they just told me just now, I didn't know. February 12th, 1 year. Yes. We never got to see it. We find out like there's some people in New York City. I don't know, they're communicating on their internet, on their it's even heard right. They usually don't think that way. But for a long time, it was just, so, myself and very few does background. They were like, they wasn't charging some of the street law. Same thing, guys. They're gonna be nice. They usually are.
We don't have that per se, monthly account, and $500 a month guy in her account.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
We also do some entertainment or something. We lost some life. You're working now? Did you work? And are you getting paid overtime? So. Well, I'm sure. Your salary is over. I'm just saying, make sure you know Custer, 'cause I bet you haven't read that. The keys exactly. That's all it- Good answer. The cameras aren't rolling today. Which is actually great. Cameras are not.
In one of the council meetings, the chief asked that the police department be one of the representatives for, the ARC, I call it ARC, that's not the correct term, the, animal control. Did they attend it? Because it was at least them. Because, I mean, it's great to say, yeah, we should do it, but if you don't show up for a meeting, I have an issue with
No, I'm saying.
that. Because there are plenty of people that have asked over the years to represent the,
Now they ask, when they send the notice out, who's the go to someone in the city? Or
years
it's on the
ago.
website?
No, well, I, as a citizen, I found, because I'm not on the committee, I found it on the website, but, I don't know how it's disseminated.
Okay, I will find out.
And I know that, I mean, he stood up here and said, we want it. Okay, great. You take it, but do it.
I'll make sure that it's on. What does Kiva Police Department do about the stray cats, keep books? Let me ask you that question.
They have a track.
I'm asking you, I'm asking them.
Well, sir, I have not.
Is this the additional?
I have not, no, this is my own personal thing, it's not belong with the police department, thank you very much. Counselor. I am not a big help.
Oh, good, I'm glad.
No.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody's driving a white Volkswagen, they left their lights on.
That's me. Did you turn them off?
Turn them off. I'm right here, man.
Look, look, look.
Give me the keys. I'm right here, come on. Man, I walk out, just want to take it.
And he takes the first vendor.
SUV, right?
That's it, right here, one part facing the PD.
Oh, they want to, even if, even if, no, the failure to ask. But I thought it was-
What's our gun? Just sent me a deal when I said I got it. All the idiots use this thing. Yes.
Eliminate access. That doesn't mean I can go put a road in, that doesn't mean I can go rain on my name just because I have easy people. And it is not, it's just, what is it, why I'm saying, it is not saying, I can go build me a try to come home.
Correct. It's actually the property lines themselves.
It's a no-win.
Right now, the way the black is treated is that we have is for public. Essentially, they're going to private. So,
But right away, it says that, you know, you build. I'm not having to get this. That means there's no building.
you could build like there's a town first, you can connect to which they are here, and you can build the next to that facility. Or if you try to build a driveway next to that access road, that's actually. There's already, right now, there's gravel, roadway, that over, so everything is just good.
I wonder if after that, who's like,
Right.
Boys, we paid our money, let it work out, okay? You want to keep the road fine, you're gonna maintain it, but that's, it doesn't give us a huge carte blanche, really, like, I can't say, really, where they, I can't say. I'm gonna put that on there, and you never say, I may put it on there, you're gonna keep it up. That is hard.
And that's the reason that is. It's an honest. Now, there is, yeah. This is happening. Gray area there for sure.
Well, there's nothing wrong with setting a precedent, but then you got a power, I'm sure everybody. This is for your, dollars with alleyways to the individual owners. They're paying, I don't know what it was, I want to say $10 for this, and I'm hoping on that, it was definitely. And they watch it. They bought the alleyways on Main Street. So, I need possibly tomorrow, I know the building, they bought the property that, that was.
News to everyone. City property.
Right, they have and they sold them.
City. Very good, then like a, I don't know, what any easement or like that, right? Because sometimes the city.
Other like it's a right of way, so they abandoned, and so, because that way. You got this, this is what you Exactly. I think something funny about it, but I think this is from State Farm, there's protection and access to beach. That is really nice. More money for you, attorney.
If we can walk down the beach until you get to that part of the dimension, somebody if they have, I think, only go through private property to get to the beach that you're at, then you.
Oh, my, this is a different.
So if you're out on the peninsula.
Okay, so you go
You
back.
have a beach all around the peninsula. People usually walk about this is they can access that through another public.
So basically, they have to
That
stop
over your house.
and then go back.
Yeah, walk by your house. Now, the question is, if you only stay with the water park with your 2 feet of water, that's what needs to grow. And that's almost impossible to understand with river and sunlight, unless it's river front property, that is a huge generation. Is that out there? That's a real problem.
Well, they're in the water, they have a water shortage.
Well, it's not just that they have southern areas, the land, the water.
And people love.
So is that a new, is that a new?
Brandon, can you hear us?
It was a big street.
I'll let him know.
It's different. Now, we have something going down, we look at right away. And as soon as it's severed, officially. You want to come with me? You're actually allowed to do that with your roll wire from that. Because yeah, I don't do that. I was supposed to use it for the negotiations. Like the MC, you go to people, the difference. Just try to put them in and see. What's the going rate these days? I'm hearing like 350 to 450. I also want to cost back to these. We have to look at stuff. I already should look at some. But I don't. And I'm sure this is not necessarily for every long, but they have to, because they can come from the road. It was not well, so the communication, I never saw that. I only saw
I'm just very detailed on that. But they've been here a long time. Some of them have been here over 10, 15 years.
Yeah, that's small, it's telling.
They don't know how. Kansas City goes like that. And, well, Detroit does. They went bankrupt and they're still operating. Oh, yeah. One. If they did it good, the two officers, the 2 minutes officers, I think, like, this is one of the highest, this is what counts. Yeah, right, because the person was running, and person was not someone you want to mess with. But they don't care. It's not about the money to them.
Because it's kind of lock-in. No, but this one's really hard. It's just, I just want to start having everyone around, everybody five spaces.
Man, we have a problem. I remember she got on one level that she could not even like order. She called me one day, like, in the middle of the night. She's like, I'm in the computer, I'm in the computer.
You start seeing your training,
Yeah.
this is a very large platform.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah, it really can.
I'm confused on what you, how you.
You can use for these, okay, so, like, okay, so. Like this one, okay, so you do maybe build these with, because you don't have 5 at a time going around the circle, and so when you have to get to where you've got more, you've got like, yeah, because they drop out, you see how they drop out each time?
Yeah, okay.
And you've only got 5 there and 5 spaces there, so if you have more than 5, then you lose. And I get that 2/3 of the way through all the time. And then I go 2 times inside. That's something that you can like job or you can decide for you.
And here they go.
Everyone you want to meet? Stand up, back up.
Good. Easy.
One of these days.
I feel lousy. Just can't get any energy going again. Is that all of us? It is. I'll call the meeting back to order at 7:29. 11A, we don't have action on 11A. 11B, consideration and possible action regarding deliberations about real property.
I make a motion to approve quick whack easement pending utility verification and type of construction.
So we have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I would like to request a motion to move 14F up underneath, as the next item on the agenda. I believe we have somebody in the audience that is representative for the equipment.
Make a motion to move 14F up in the agenda.
We have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Dustin Oliver. All those in favor? Motion carries. 14F, consideration and possible action to approve the purchase of new equipment for public works. And oh, Caesar, you're okay.
Yes, Mayor. This is the item that was presented to you during budget season for consideration. We do have a representative from the company that's here. We do have options that are available to you. We framed them as A, B, and C. There is a model that is available to us right now that does not require a budget amendment. We're ready to entertain any questions. The biggest component of this was making sure that we had, and also Rashard is here to speak to it as well as needed, was to make sure that we had the actual mowing machine, the actual mower itself. So, and if I'm using wrong terminology, the actual flare mower, correct? As well as the grapple. So if we needed to pick up large items, that is what is one of the attachments that's shown. So as you go through these options, any options that you would like to have, obviously the prices increase slightly. If you'd like to have anything else added, for example, there is a ditching bucket if we needed to work with clearing out some of these ditches. I believe this would be the perforated one so that you could go through some of the space that, so water can go through it, correct? So that's what that ditching bucket would do. So now you can actually, if you needed to take water out of a muddy area, you could also do so with that aspect and have the water go through. So those are some options that are available to you. Then obviously there's option C, which would be what a new machine costs. The price has gone up significantly since we first started talking about this 8 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. The representative is here. The amounts are the amount for A and or B are correctly budgeted, but not for C. Is that correct?
I do believe option B is like 4,000 over budget.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. And the reason for that being over is obviously because of adding the ditching bucket that was requested as part of this first go around. So we would like to seek action as a staff. I think Rashard would probably say he prefers option B out of all of them. Actually, I don't want to say that. I think he preferred the other machine originally that we had on here. But as far as these three options are concerned, would you agree that option B is your preferred option?
Yeah, that would be correct. I believe actually the only thing that actually changed was the fact that the price went up. That's basically what happened. And so this machine here is actually a demo with about how many hours? About 30 hours on it. And the price for original one went up, like Mr. Garcia said, significantly. So I don't really see that being an option at this juncture. So basically the difference right now, I believe, is around $4,000.
Between A and B. The vendor is also available should you have any questions specifically about the equipment.
Does the fact that it's a demo void anything on it? Any kind of warranty or anything?
My name is Doug Moore. I'm a representative with King Ranch Agriculture to Hanan. No, Mayor, it does. It'll still have a full factory warranty on it.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Brian, what was this budget for originally? Because I know it was a half and half with KCBC and the city.
I think it was like 107, so I think it was like 107.5, so like 215 total. So.
Rashard. For a second, please. Is this what we're talking about?
Yes, sir.
That exact machine? Did you find it? The bucket would extend from the arm, or is there a separate attachment? I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is.
So the machine comes with an attachment, which is the flail mower, and we're requesting the ditching bucket and the grapple. So yeah, we're trying to get two additional attachments to do additional work with that machine, which was really originally quoted, but like I said, the price went up.
This is a 20, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, I'm done.
Does the 24-foot boom reach everything you needed to reach?
No. You know,
Sorry, I knew the answer. I just had to know the answer.
This was one of those situations where for safety, that's why we wanted the longer boom. In this case, the thought was that we would do some work from above the berm and some work from below. The only time that becomes a bigger challenge is obviously when we're taking care of the actual Jarbo ditch. That's when the biggest challenge would come because you can't really do much from below, obviously from inside the ditch. Different from on the berm, that would be for 57-acre park where you have above and below. We've demoed the machine. We've been several different places. King Ranch is by board and HCAC, if I'm not mistaken. So all procurement has been met. You've budgeted, you debated this. Ready to proceed when you're ready. We just want to, the lead time on this is how many days to have it on hand?
Approximately 21 days.
So the thought process is to have this before grass starts growing really fast. So we can get ahead of these berms and get these projects done before we gotta get into the fast season.
And Ryan, you think that the estimate of 219 is within about 4,000 of what we budgeted?
Yes, ma'am, it's about 4,000. I think it's at $4,029, somewhere in there.
That's option A.
That's option B.
B.
Option A
That's-
will keep us
Yeah.
under budget, or barely under
Barely.
budget.
Man, I guess I'll just give my opinion on it. I mean, if we're gonna do this tonight, I don't want a budget amendment to do it, I'll tell you that. I mean, we just wait till the next budget season and buy you a bucket. That's kind of how I feel about it, but I just think we need to, so we've been talking about canvas concrete.
Yes.
I just don't know if I want to, do we still need to explore that if we own this machine?
I think that would be an addition to, one of the things with this machine that we'd like to look at doing, with the proper attachment, we may be able to facilitate some of the work we're trying to do at 57 Acre Park and some of the other projects that we're doing. So the idea would be to get this sooner than later, so we can try to start that project as far as what our match would be for the grant. I think it behooves us to go that route, even if we get the concrete, if we do all the concrete. We're not going to put concrete on the side of 57 Acre Park. We'll probably put it in Jarbo Ditch and some of the other areas. But there's still some spaces, even when the boat ramp is done, that we're going to maintain, that we're going to need some type of machinery to do. Right now, it's overgrown. It's because we can't safely get back there and cut it right. And even at our drainage area, at our drainage pump as well, at our pump station, those are some of the locations where we may need to use this anyways. So just as a thought, it's not just for the ditch. The ditch is going to be a large part of the priority of the work. But there are several other locations we're going to need it, especially with now the construction that's going on Anderson 518. We're going to have even less access, a little tighter access back there once that's built up.
I guess my question would be on the grapple, Richard, is that gonna be needed if we have another event? Or what would you need a grapple for today?
When you say event, are you referring to hurricanes?
Well, so it has to be a
She told me to
hurricane.
step up here and mention that again as well, but yeah, that's what the grapple is for. We have to have something to pick up debris and things of that nature. So, yeah, to be honest with you, I think it'll be kind of, not so much a waste of time to talk about this later rather than now, because if we keep waiting, he'll tell you that the price is going to go up, and that's what happened. The price literally went up several $1,000s.
I mean, we said this equipment won't do it, but our last tractor didn't have 24 foot, and we mowed the burden in, so I mean, it can be done. And the people I did visit with on the East Coast about this piece of equipment said this was the one that they said would work best in city applications because of the turn radius, you can turn the road. With the other one, there was no turn radius, and if you're using it working ditches along roads, it's a pain in the rear end, which is what I got from sales reps on the East Coast.
Yeah, this particular, the Aspen machine is ideal, just like you said, for the city
There's
applications.
sales reps in Connecticut and somewhere else.
Yes, yeah, which I'm aware of them and know them. But it does have, it has a four-wheel steer system, so it's highly maneuverable. It has a turning radius of about 7.5 feet, which would be ideal for some of the tighter streets. Also, getting around obstacles and stuff, it makes it very versatile. Also, the visibility on it, you basically have, the operator has a 360-degree visibility from the cab. So it's, again, it's a very multi-purpose machine, and also it's a very safe machine and very maneuverable machine, just for applications such as we're discussing here.
And what about parts and maintenance? The parts are easy to get?
Yes, very good.
maintenance
So King
level?
Ranch, as the dealer, we're full parts and full service.
Okay.
So any type of parts that are needed would go through our shop. We also have field service trucks that we can come out on site and do the maintenance on it, as well as any warranty work that needs to be done. And the manufacturer, Intergreen, is very proactive, very good. We've had nothing but positive dealings with the manufacturer
Yeah,
itself.
those reps told me 25, 30 years.
What is the warranty on it?
This has a 1-year factory warranty, 1-year factory warranty on this.
Is there a maintenance program you guys provide?
No, the maintenance is very minimal, to say the most. A lot of it just really depends on the amount of hours that is put on it per year. So we do not offer any, like a maintenance plan for that. But again, everything's covered under warranty if there is an issue. And we do the full service on it in-house or in the field on that. Typically, and probably to ask, like, if you did an annual service, so it's all annual based on hours, but normally you have annual services on that. And this is a hydrostatic machine, which means there's no gears on this machine. So it's very easy to operate. You push the pedal to go forward, you push the pedal to go reverse. It's ideal if you have multiple operators, because some operators may be familiar with it, geared machine or different types of machines. So it's very easy to operate. So it does have a large hydraulic oil reservoir on that. So if you were to do, depending on the hours again, an annual service on that, depending if you need full fluids or filters and such, you're probably looking at somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500 to have a full service done annually.
Any more questions, concerns? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of Evergreen IFL Aspen 24-foot boom and Evergreen 30-foot grapple for $214,400.
So a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Isaac Saldana. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Darren, that was, item,
The first one.
yeah.
Option
We
A.
did it out, option A.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you very
Thank you, sir.
much for waiting tonight. I appreciate it. Okay, next,
Back up to 12.
okay, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. We have 12A, B, C, and D. I will not read them all out loud unless I should. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds to approve. All those in
Is it time?
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I believe Lee Wallace was the second, Natasha. Number 13A, consideration and possible action to approve the replat for Quick Quack Coastal View FM 2094 preliminary and final plat.
I'll make a motion to approve the replat for Quick Quack Coastal View FM 2094.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus, a second by Councilman Dustin Oliver. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion, excuse me?
No.
Okay. You got that then? Yes. Nay, okay. Motion carries. 13B, consideration and possible action regarding hotel occupancy hot sponsorship applications.
Mayor, I'd like to recuse myself from voting on this one as my employer's on the list of requesting funding.
Okay, so Councilman Dustin Oliver will not be voting on this one. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the actions taken in our workshop totaling $83,500.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus, a second by Councilman Isaac Saldana. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And one abstaining or recusing himself from the voting. 14A, consideration and possible action to approve a special event temporary conditional use permit for the Cruise into Kima Mardi Gras Parade.
Just have a question for Chief. Did you look at it and everything's good?
No, sir, no, sir.
When is the parade?
She's
What
like,
did- what does it say?
protocol. I know it's the same thing every time, but that's
Yeah.
protocol for,
I'll make a motion to approve pending chief's approval.
We have a motion by Councilman Isaac Saldana. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And that's, okay. So that's about, okay. 14B, consideration and possible action to approve resolution 2026-04, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Kima, Texas, establishing the regular meeting dates, time, and place of the City Council, repealing prior conflicting actions, and providing an effective date.
Mayor, yeah, this item was brought for us to bring back to you as far as changing the possible times of the meetings. Sean Talley was taking us to what times, so the closing times would be 4 or 5 or noon. At this time, we're here to ask what time you'd like, so we can move over to work. Just keep in mind that we do a workshop, it'll probably be an hour before that at any time. If we choose 4, we have a workshop, you have that, depending on when we workshop. Noon would be at 11.
I would just say my only concern, and I've already expressed this, and I'm gonna do it publicly, is that if we go to 4 o'clock, which I'm not opposed to, because it's easy for me and it's even better, but I think we already limit the folks that can run for these positions, and people that have an 8 to 5 job no longer will have that ability. So I just want everybody to be aware of that, but I'm not in favor of that at all. I mean, I know I can do it, but not everybody in the community can do that 4 o'clock start time. And it is a non-paid job, so without people want to leave work to take a pay deduction and come to city council.
And also, this is something that you could always decide in the future to change again if you needed to.
That's kind of why I said noon, because I figured if you could take a lunch break. But I mean, in my time up here, I mean, there's probably been, Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe 2 people in the last 7, 8 years that had a 9 to 5 job that had to, you know.
Yeah.
But again, they always have the right to change it back.
Yeah.
And, but I would have said noon, but when I looked at the recommendation, staff recommended 4, so. Go with that.
I mean, I know the water board's gone to 4,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it with no opposition. so-
3:30 ESB?
ESB's an hour before the water
Yeah,
board
3
meeting.
o'clock.
But anybody that can be here at 4 can be here, at the same problem be here at noon. That's what I
I
thought.
mean, Houston doesn't know the day. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, that's.
Other cities do it in the
You talk
morning.
about maximizing staff's time, do it during the regular workday and be done with it.
Well,
during the regular workday.
also, just in consideration of our contractors, you had a contractor here tonight that you had to pay extra time that was here later should you had questions on an item. And it happens almost every meeting. So as a cost saving method, that's the case. Also, as staff has to now flex or do whatever. Well, same thing, obviously, with the city. Well, the only thing is, depending on what time is selected, it may affect his participation. So would you like to chime in on that?
Sure, back in the year, another attorney said he'd be here, it was a meeting. I knew attorney was, been 2 years, he was doing city assistant, city attorney, so I've got other people that attend this meeting. 90% of the work that I do for the city occurs outside this meeting. It's up to you. Noon, great time, it's a great time.
Could you make a noon meeting?
Yeah.
Can you make a 4 o'clock meeting
3 o'clock meeting?
or 4?
Probably not, according to his schedule.
I like noon, but I'm gonna be long range on that too. Staff?
And
How
staff's
does staff feel
preference
about it?
was 4, correct?
4 is your preference?
What's that on there?
4 or noon? 4? Noon? That's what I'm saying. How about you? How about you? How about you, Hefe? How about you, Hefe?
I'm okay. I mean, I pretty much dedicate these days
You can do it at
to
9 if you want to.
city stuff, so I could come anytime.
And just because you have 12, 4, or 5 doesn't mean you can't dictate another. You can choose 1:15. You're open to whatever time you'd like.
Dustin, would you have trouble making that done?
Me?
Dustin.
Oh.
Which one, noon or 4?
Either one.
Either.
It would be a little tougher.
Yeah, tough,
Yeah.
noon's
It
tough.
don't last an hour. I'm like,
Noon's-
Yeah.
we're in 3 or 4 hours.
Noon is tougher for me than 4 would be for sure, but I can make it work. I kind of lean towards, you notice I didn't answer that. I didn't really want to move it, but, I,
4, I don't like 4.
noon would be
You don't?
harder
I
for
say
me,
maybe
but I
12.
can make it work. It's just gonna,
What
I'm gonna
about,
be cranky. 'cause
Four's in the middle of my work.
That's my feeding time, man. I'm gonna be
well,
cranky.
what
just let you
about
know.
a compromise of 5? That's an hour earlier. But if you have a workshop, it's earlier.
I do have concerns that residents are gonna be really upset at this. That they're beyond the ones that are already vocal. I think this is one of those things that may make some other ones vocal.
Well, you could watch it remotely.
There is access.
You
I'm
mean the
not-
same residents that are getting audience with them?
Yeah, I understand. I get it. I understand. Just making it
There's,
that's my opinion. I'm just making my opinion known.
there's plenty of cities that are considering changing the time. I know Galveston, for example, I think does it at noon. I mean, it's, you have a ton of options as to what you'd like to do. Again, it could also just be for a certain amount of time if you wanted to use it for a 90-day period and see what happens. There's options there as well. So just, we appreciate the consideration as far as the staff. I think I speak for all the staff saying that although staff supports 4, we do it at 10 in the morning if you wanted us to. So
Works for me. I'm tired.
what I'm saying is
No need to brag.
whatever you guys need, we're willing to accommodate to. Just let us know and we're ready to drive forward.
But for me personally, 4 is hard. I'll make it. If I can't make it, I can't make it. Change it however fits y'all better. I'm easy. If I can't make it, I'll let you know. But I'll just handle that problem later. 4 is really in the middle of my workday, but
What about
yeah,
2?
if I can make it, I'll make it.
Would 2 be better? I mean,
Not really. I saw the 7-day work good for me, but it doesn't matter. 6 o'clock works good for me.
Okay.
Keep them, leave it alone. That's fine.
If there's no motion on the table, we will leave it as is. Seeing as no
I'll
one
make a
is.
motion. Shoot.
Okay.
I mean, I am, I'm not scared.
Well, I don't have one, so I'm
I
asking.
make a motion to approve resolution 2026-04 to move city council meetings to 4 o'clock.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus, a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I guess we're going to 4 PM. Motion carries.
this would take effect in time for the next meeting on the 21st.
Would you like to amend your motion?
It starts 2 weeks from now. That's our next meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
No, no, you don't have to amend it. I'm just letting everybody know that.
Let's make that 2 readings.
No, you don't. It's a resolution, so we can just move forward.
Okay.
Got you more time to work on
Okay, 14C, consideration of possible action to move the 2/18/26 City Council regular meeting to 2/19/26 City Council special meeting. And that is because I think Caesar will be,
Caesar and myself will be in
And
San Antonio.
Darren will be out of town.
And possibly another person may have to miss the meeting, so
Right.
moving to the 19th would accommodate to that.
So the
Regardless, if
9th
it's on the 19th, I would have to attend virtually anyways. So for the sake of everybody, I need to take care of something, so I will
So it would be on Thursday evening,
at 4.
at 4 o'clock.
Afternoon. So moved.
So we have a motion by Councilman Isaac Saldana, a second by Councilman Darren Broadus to move the meeting from 2/18 to 2/19 at 4 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 14D, consideration and possible action to approve the itemized radio equipment that will be purchased under the Operation Lone Star Grant Program.
Make a motion to approve the itemized radio equipment that was purchased under the Operation Lone Star Grant Program.
So we have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 14E, consideration and possible action to approve a budget amendment that will be reimbursed under the Operation Lone Star Grant Program for the Texas Office of the Governor.
Make a motion to approve a budget amendment that will be reimbursed under the Operation Lone Star Grant Program from the State Texas Office of the Governor.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus, a second by Councilman Dustin Oliver. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 14G, consideration and possible action to award the contract for RFP sealed bid project 2025-01, professional grant administrative services for community development block grant, disaster recovery, CDBG-DR, local communities program, LCP, to Public Management, Inc.
Mayor, there was an RFP that was put out for this administrative service. There was 2 respondents out of the scoring criteria that was put together. Public management was the highest scoring respondent. We are seeking your approval to enter this agreement. Remember, this agreement is, for this particular one, would not cost us anything unless we're awarded. But either way, we have to go through this exercise to make sure that we award it properly. It was properly bid. We're trying to seek grant funds to continue some drainage projects and some mitigation projects throughout the city. There were 2 bids that were put out. This is for administrative services. At the next meeting, we intend on bringing you the other half, which would be for the engineering services.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve, award the contract for RFP sealed bid project 2025-01, professional grant administrative services for community development block grant, disaster recovery, local communities program to Public Management, Inc.
So a motion by Councilman Darren Brodge. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 14H, discuss the 2025-2026 KEMA fee schedule.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is more of a discussion item. I want to make sure there's been several incidents that have warranted us to bring this discussion forward. Not just, and it's more of a broad discussion, not just to do with the fee schedule, but also with our ordinances in general. I also have had 2 council members that would like to speak on this item, and I'd like to open the floor for them to please chime in on this. But we'd like to set up a standard practice where we review our fee schedule every 2 years on every even year. So in this case, we're in 2026, and now would be the time to do it once more, or to kick this off. Doesn't mean we have to change them every year, every 2 years, but it means that we will review them every 2 years. We've already started some backlog exercises on this by going through and seeing what other cities may charge, what fees we may have that we're missing, that are obsolete, that are outdated, or changes we have to make. For example, we have a culvert ordinance in place where we're supposed to install culverts. Well, that's one of the ones that we recommend that we change. So there's a fee schedule that has to be done, but part of this much bigger exercise, if you remember during the budget process, we brought to you a codification project that the city clerk's office, city secretary's office was going to lead. We had to cut that due to budgetary restraints. I'd like to once again start that dialogue, have that discussion. And at this point, I'd like to turn this over to the council members that have some interest in this.
I'll get started. Every year I was asked, when I asked Ryan to bring this up, because every year I take a stab at this, and last year was single family, and we did some other things to update this best I could, but now I'm looking at the commercial multifamily, and if you just look at the mathematics of it, it doesn't make any sense. It's almost embarrassing that we have this in our freaking ordinances, honestly. And then there's some things that we need to clean up that I just don't understand at all. So I guess I'm gonna have to do a deep dive and figure out what the intent was when they originally did some of this stuff. Cause like a burn permit, is that something we really wanna permit in city limits at this point with all the development that we have had? I mean, there's just things in here that I really think we need to clean up. So my suggestion would be, a couple of city council members and Caesar get together and let's go through this line by line, and let's try to clean this up one last time and have something that we can review every 2 years. Never gone that far into it. I know we've done, changed the ordinance to 500 last year, and we did the residential. So some of the stuff I know is up to date, but there's a lot of stuff in here we're just gonna have to roll up our sleeves and figure it out line by line and look what other cities are doing. Because I mean, if you just look at the first line of commercial development, it says $60 from 0 to 10, but then you go to 10 to 20 and it's 85 for the first 10. So where did the 85 come from? It's 60 for 10,000. So I mean, just things that just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. If you go to if I come in with a $501,000 project, I pay $5,000, and the person that's got a $500,000 project pays $10,000. So I mean, mathematics does not make any sense in some of this stuff. So it's just clerical errors, I think, but I mean, it just needs to be cleaned up. So that's my suggestion is for Caesar and 2 council members, go do this line by line, and hopefully bring it back to you all in February with something that we can actually publish.
But this would be looking at across the board, all of our fees. That is the short-term project for us to do. And then you would need to find an adoption date you'd want to adopt it for, so we can also be prepared for on the revenue side of things for next budget fiscal year. But even some of the fees that we outsource, some of the services for, we want to make sure that they're aligned. We don't want to be paying $200 to get a plan reviewed, but we only charge a person $150 because technically it's costing us money to get it reviewed. So that's what we want to do, is a full snapshot of everything to kind of have an audit process, internal audit process of everything we do, but also compare to what other cities around us charge, because historically we've been strategically a lot lower than some of the others as well, significantly lower, including our court fees.
Would you include everything like the community center? and,
Everything.
Fire inspection fees and everything?
The idea would be to put all the fees together every even year for review of all kind, including court, including everything.
Short-term rentals?
Short-term rentals, parking, you name it. Anything that we charge any money for as far as a fee, a permit, inspection, anything else would be part of this process.
Because we have a fee for certificate of occupancy or CO for 200 the first time, but me and Caesar were talking about maybe we revamp that and make that an annual, I'm not saying 200, but make it an annual in the fire inspections included. So we need teeth in our fire inspections, because right now there's no teeth to the city side. So it needs to be tied back to their CO, so that if they don't get it done, then we could technically shut them down. So I mean, there's just things we need to clean up so that we can proceed forward with some of the people out there that aren't following the rules.
Do we have another councilman willing to get on this committee?
Well, but before we go that far, I actually had a very similar conversation with Caesar on a very similar situation. So I got to the first page, and I actually have a lot of experience in this, and I started looking at what I pay in other cities, and it just didn't match up. And it is confusing. And I started thinking about, like, from my perspective as a builder, I'm like, okay, well, I pay this here, and here I know we need these things. Like, what some of the examples are. And we tried to do this before when the last city attorney was here, and they just, for some reason, didn't want to do it. But for example, in other cities, I might pay, as a builder, I might pay park improvement fees, or I might pay road improvement fees, or I might pay, just different fees for different parts of the city, the things that we need. And I pay it as part of my building package. In League City, if I build a custom home, that permit might cost me about $20,000. $20,000. If I build that same house in Kima, that permit might cost me $5,000 or $3,000. That's real. And Clear Lake Shore is the same. So I'm not saying we've got to be $20,000 for permits. I'm just saying that there's a big discrepancy and it should be fixed. And so I called Caesar and I said, all the way since when Nick Havey was here, the conversation always came up. And I went a step further. I was talking about codes and everything, about how it's always been just this big bite to take out. Nobody's ever really wanted to do it. And I actually offered him, said, hey, why don't you and I get together with another councilman? I said the same thing. And let's just work through it, man. Let's just start going through it and see what we can do. But Kyle actually had a really good suggestion and having maybe Medico look at it. And I don't know if they look at the fees, but maybe that's something we need to do. But as a whole, have pay somebody like you talked about before, but we had it in the budget. We pulled it out. Have somebody come through and flush everything out, and then we go from there and decide what we do and what we don't want to do. And then we can do the same with fees if they provide that. If they don't, we can just sit down and go through fees. I don't think that's difficult.
Right.
Fees.
The
But
fees is
as
probably
I
separate.
started pulling up fees, and I started looking at what LaPorte, the cities I work in, LaPorte, Shore Acres, League City, Galveston, all through Galveston County. I started just kind of pulling them up in about 5 minutes, and they're just totally different. And we are on the very low end of that. And so, not making any more land, we're landlocked all the way around. We really should be maximizing on that and paying our staff. And some of that stuff we don't get reimbursed for. I know this. So yeah, I agree 100%. And so if you need me to be part of that, I'm more than happy to. But I think in a bigger picture, we do need to put back on the budget to go out for the media code and have them start fleshing out our codes. Because this, for example, this quick bike thing, it should, that's a situation that we talked about in council and should have been fleshed out. And here we are. That's all code stuff. And so that needs to be fixed. And we're probably way late on this because we're almost built out, but we need to get started.
But also with that, I'd like to ask Natasha to chime in on the codification because she did put some legwork on that as well as when we were going through that process as well. Obviously, something that would help us from ordinance perspective and so forth. Natasha, if you'd like to chime in on that.
What exactly are you asking?
As far as cost, as far as the need for it, as far as the best practice to get our codes up to date.
It is desperately needed. It's part of the recodification project, but, oh, no, it's not. It's part of the recodification project, but we had to reallocate funds to another project. So if y'all are interested in doing that, I can get a updated quote and let you know how much that is to get that added in there too. Because I believe it was like 24,000 or something.
Well, look at mini code, please.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's where I got the quote from.
Is it for 24,000?
Yes. Yeah, I can see if I can pull it up. But,
Different set of services depending on scope of work.
Well, give us the menu so we can decide what the menu is. Let's get it back on.
yeah, because the quotes that I have are very old. It was from last budget cycle, so that's all I have right now.
But either way, I did want to just make sure that we understood that it's two separate parts of the project. There's the fee schedule, which is its own separate ordinance. That would be having to do with the fees that we would like to establish a routine where we do that every even year. And then the bigger one to chew on would be the codification project.
At the same company. That she got a quote.
It was on the screen a second ago.
Oh, that's something else. Yes, I'm trying to find it. I was like, oh, put me on the spot here.
Yeah, that wasn't the
Yeah,
intent.
but they
I
were TML
apologize.
as well, I think, so.
They
We
were.
got visited with them for 35, 40 minutes. It's just gonna take us 3 or 4 years, and it's not gonna happen overnight.
Just start taking a bite at a time.
Well, it's always been the cost aspect of it that held it up because Nick Hagan
One
wanted
at a
us.
time, in the timeline. right?
Yeah.
But it's-
and
Everybody
He
said
had
it's gonna take a
started
lot.
that, I mean,
Yeah.
he wanted us to do that.
Everybody says it's gonna take a long time. That's been going on for 10 years. We could have done had it finished.
Agreed.
That's how much it was.
Well, then, there's no action to be taken on this item, but y'all will get together and bring it back to
Council
council.
okay with me and Isaac getting together with Caesar and working through this?
Let somebody else want to do it.
Any other further discussion on this item? If not, we will adjourn the meeting at 8:09 PM. Thank you. Me too.
More questions?